Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming this neutral eye look with a pop of colour. I hope you like it. So the purpose of this video is to give a first impression of the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint. This has an SPF factor of 30, so this is kind of a great one to wear in the daytime. Probably not so great if you're having your pictures taken in the evening with flash photography. Being kind of a combination oily skin girl, this kind of definitely caught my attention. I'm a bit partial to a bit of a matte finish because I get quite oily during the day. I mean, not even during the day, after like an hour, so I can swear to God I can see the oils start to seep through my T-zone area. So I'm going to be trying this without any primer because I actually want to see the foundation's performance on its own without any kind of interference with any primer. So the shade I have is medium 1 Saint Moritz. If you want to see how I get on with this foundation, then just keep watching. Okay, it looks like a nice creamy formulation. And I don't want to go in with too much because I have heard that this foundation does give a lot of coverage, so a little does go a long way. So after 2 pumps of that, it's kind of giving my skin a kind of I'd say a matte finish. It doesn't look like a flat matte finish at all. It's very kind of natural looking, but there's no hint of glow or shine to it. And for the brows, I have actually been using the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil quite a lot recently, only because I find that it just saves me so much time. Of course, I like to set my brows in place with the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and this is in the shade medium dark. Right, then I am going to move straight onto the eyes, and first of all I'm going to prime them. I'm just going to use a little bit of concealer for that, and the one I'm going to be using today is the Clarins Instant Concealer. I am going to go in with the shade Heaven in the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette. I think I've actually only used this palette once in my tutorial, so I thought I might as well give it another go. I am going to go in with the shade Honey Butter, which is this kind of mid-tone peachy shade. This should make a really nice warm transition shade. And I'm just going to take it directly into the crease, and I tend to always work from the outside half, placing most of my product there and then pulling it inwards. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Chocolate Cookie, which I say is several shades darker than Honey Butter. It's like a really rich, reddish, orangey brown shade. I'm just taking that on the outer corner of the eye. I'm placing most of the product there, taking it up into the crease, but I really don't want to drag it too far across. I really want to focus the darkness on the outer corner. And going back with the brush that I used, the shade Honey Butter, I'm just going to soften that chocolate cookie shade out so it blends in nicely. Just build this up to the intensity that you want it. So it just might mean going back and forth and just repeating the steps. Things a little bit more darker, I'm going to go in with this shade called Sexpresso, which is kind of like a neutral, really dark brown shade. And I'm I'm really just going to focus that right on the outer corners, just to really darken it up a little bit. So it's essentially the outer V. So as you can see, I've kind of drawn in a bit of a V shape. And then I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply chocolate cookie, and I'm going to just blend that in slightly, so it's just not a harsh blob of colour sitting there. Then I'm going to go back in with the very light shade called Heaven, and I'm going to apply that back over the inner half of the eyes, just to really brighten up and open up the eyes, because we're quite smoky on the outer corners. Then I'm going to move on and curl my lashes. Then using the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper, I'm going to go in and line my upper lash line and do a little bit of a flick as well. And I'm going to quickly run a little bit of the Makeup Forever Artist Liner along my top waterline. Oh no, I've run out. Right, then I'm going to go in with the Heroin Make Volume and Curl Mascara and just give my lashes a coat of mascara. And for lashes, I'm going to go in with this mink pair that I got from eBay. Then to conceal my under eyes, I'm going to use the Clarins Instant Concealer. This is quite light in shade, so I'm going to use it to kind of also highlight the under eye area. Then using my damp beauty blender, I am going to blend that all out. Then using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I am just going to set the under eye concealer. Right, then I'm going to finish off the under eyes, and first off I'm going to go in with the shade Honey Butter and run that right the way along my bottom lash line. Then going in with a pencil brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Chocolate Cookie, which was the really warm brown shade, and I am going to kind of run that along the bottom lash line, but because this is a smaller brush, it's going to stay quite tightly along that bottom lash line. Then just to add a little pop of colour, I am going to go in with the L'Oreal Silk is Me eyeliner, and this is in the shade Cobalt Blue. I picked this up when I was in California last late summer, and I've not used it. So because I've gone for a bit of a neutral eye today, I thought if I add this, it would just kind of add a little bit more interest to the look. And this formula is really, really nice. It's really kind of soft. Right, then I'm going to go in with some mascara for the bottom lashes. To highlight the inner corners of my eyes, I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Press in the shade Opal, which is just such a beautiful, beautiful highlight. Now I'm going to move on to concealing the rest of the face, and I'm going to go back to an oldie but a goodie, and this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger. This is actually down to its last legs now, but I just happened to find it in my makeup stash the other day, and I thought I might as well use up the rest of it, and I just forgotten how much I love this stuff. Then taking a damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to go back with a little bit of the Clarins Instant Concealer just to highlight in between my brows and a bit on my chin, just to balance out the highlight on the face. To set the face, I'm going to be using the yellow shade in the Smashbox contour palette. And I'm also going to take a little bit just across the cheeks where I will be applying bronzer and contour, just so the powders will apply a lot more smooth. Okay, so first I'm going to go in with the contour shade, which I've seriously hit pan on, and this is the contour shade from the Gaines Smashbox contour palette. And I'm actually using the kind of what do you call this brush? It's kind of a flat brush from the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. And I always dismiss this brush, but this is actually so good for contouring, because obviously it allows you to get that really precise, sharp contour line, but then you can also kind of tilt it to that side and soften it out so it's not as harsh. Take the excess down and along my jawline, hide that double chin. I like to run any excess kind of across the hairline as well. And this brush is also great for contouring the nose as well, because it's so narrow. So with the excess product, I like to take it down either side of my nose. Right, and then for bronzer, I am going to go in with the middle shade, which is a really nice bronzer. Such a practical, neat little palette. It comes with a mirror, it's really kind of narrow, just easy to travel with. I just think the colours are really beautiful. The formulation is great as well, easy to work with, really easy to blend. And then for my highlight, I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmery Skin Perfector pressed in Opal, what I use for the inner corners of my eyes. And I thought I'd switch it up today and use a fan brush. This is the Morphe M601. And then for my blush, I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade 03 Berry Amore. I'm just going to take a damp beauty blender and just kind of pat it over the highlight, bronzer and blush, just to make sure everything kind of sits seamlessly, so you can't see where one starts and the other ends. It looks like it kind of just melts and blends in all together. For my lips, I am going to firstly go in and outline them with the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade Bound. I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in the shade Dusty Rose. Then, of course, to set that all in place, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender Setting Spray.
So overall, I think the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint is a great base, especially for those who have oily to combination skin. It's a lightweight formula that gives a beautifully soft matte finish and is perfect for everyday wear. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then please give me a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!